Good morning to you. Welcome to your bite-sized word. Different venue today. I'm sitting in my kitchen and I'm trying to give you a good view without showing you all my dirty dishes behind me. So this morning I am looking at the Warring Woman's Journal. I don't know if you know, maybe you do. I have two journals, devotionals. This one is 100 Glorious Days, and this one is the Warring Woman's Journal. And so because today is the 11th of April, I'm looking at the 11th post in here. We've been so accustomed to social media that everything is a post. The 11th day. And at the top of the page it says, the warring woman knows that God has no limits. How wonderful it is to know that we can turn from our own limitations and personal hindrances to a God who has none. He knows that we are aware of our weaknesses and fears. He is always available to help us in our time of need, and His grace on our lives can lift us above the obstacles that we can see. The more we know Him, the more we desire to know Him. The more we experience His favor and grace, the closer we want to be in His presence. The power that belongs to God means force, security, majesty, praise, boldness, loudness, might, power, strength, and strong. So, sorry. The scripture I have here is Psalm 62, verse 11. It says, God has spoken once. Twice I have heard this, that power belongs to God. So, my encouragement to you this morning is everything you need is found in Him. I think for the past while, even at the last Ladies' Day, at the mentoring sessions, my online sessions, I think the focus has been learn to live from a place of rest, that it's not your strength, it's not your abilities, it's not what you know, but it's trusting in God. And I'm so happy about that when we come into the kingdom, we don't have to prove how strong we are, we don't have to pull out our muscles and flex them. It's total dependency upon God. But when we know that God has no limits, that's what changes things about in our lives, in our faith. That we see things that are limitations. We see obstacles. We see things that people have said are impossible. But with God, there are no limits. And to me, faith means trusting in the one who can see what I can't see. That when things don't work out the way I hope they would, that God has a better plan. That God doesn't want me to disappoint me, but my hope has to be appointed in Him, and then I will not be disappointed. And so when, this journey of faith that we're on, we have to know that that God has no limits. It's easy to look at circumstances and to begin to question and to say, but it's, I've waited so long for this thing. When is it going to happen? Surely it's never going to happen. And all the time, God has a better date, a better way, a better plan, a bigger plan than we have. He always has something that's bigger than we have. And it's just this in-between time of trusting Him. And I spoke about this at the Ladies' Day, that when you leave your country on an international flight, you have to go through customs. Once you get through customs, you're in this in-between world where you've left where you are leaving from, and now you are not where you are. You've got the ticket booked to where you're going, but you're not there yet. You're in this in-between world where you're relying on intercom systems and pilots and planes to get you where you need to go. But while you're in this in-between place, coming through customs, you haven't boarded yet. They haven't even announced the time of your boarding. And you're in this place where you're just relying on communication, hearing from somewhere where you have to go to board the plane to get the next stage of your journey. And it's exactly the same way with faith. But when we know that God has no limits and we find ourselves in this waiting place, it'll be easier to say, God, I trust you. Even though I can't see it, I trust you. This is the journey of faith. I'm going to trust you in this because power belongs to you. The power of God is able to open doors. The power of God is able to close doors that need to stay closed for your protection. And all that power is available to you. All you need is faith. That's what it says in this journal. All you need is faith. There's nothing too difficult for God. Now, I've also got 100 Glorious Days open on day 11, because that was day 11 out of the Warring Women's Journal, and day 11 here speaks about small things. Consistency in the knowledge of his constant love is a small daily win that will bring big change. And you know, the scripture here is Psalm 136 verse 1. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endures forever. And here I speak about stop trying to achieve success by comparing yourself with others. For many people, the pressure they put on themselves to follow through on their resolutions is just too much. And so if we will be people who, men and women of God, who believe that there are no limitations with God, that we can trust him. We can put our hand in his and say, God, you lead me wherever you need to lead me to, because your ways are better than mine. And so I want to encourage you with that today. If you're in the waiting place, in the in-between place, God has no limits. You know, there's many things that I've prayed about, and then when God answers the prayers, I realize I was very limited in my expectations because God did over and above. And today I still look at my life, and I think I started out not really knowing what this journey of living by faith was all about. And I can say to you today without hesitation, God is faithful to his promises. He's faithful to provide. He's faithful to keep you. He's faithful to preserve you. He's faithful to promote you when your time of promotion comes. So maybe you're in a time of waiting and you say, I'm ready. And God's just, you know, allowing you to wait because his timing is better than yours. So remember, there are no limits with God. The warring woman knows that God has no limits. Have a fantastic day today.